All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ben. You are welcome to my country, Nigeria, and this is My People and I. Now, the 2023 presidential election is perhaps one of the most iconic elections in the history of Nigeria. And one of the most iconic pictures that emerged from that election is this picture. The picture of this 17-year-old boy who was bold enough to spontaneously go and stand in front of Peter Obi's convoy. This boy's name is Cordri Alabi, 17-year-old boy. And when he did that, the picture became a symbol of Peter Obi's campaigns. And, people began extending some kind gestures towards him, giving him money, donations, and all that. And the boy was popular then. But so many people did not know what became of the boy later on, until a few weeks ago, when we began hearing of the tragedy that befell young Alabi Cordri. Apparently, the area boys, in his area, began threatening him for money. They said he had to settle them because he had, blown. That's the word we use in Nigeria. And it's not as if this boy did not part with money. He gave them some money, but they said it was not enough. The entitlement mentality in Nigeria. They began disturbing him, disturbing the whole family. Long story made short, they framed him up for armed robbery. And because of the Nigerian police, you know how they operate. Before they knew it, they don't carry this boy, go dump for Kirikiri. And he spent several months in Kirikiri, completely innocent boy. But God can't help him. Few weeks ago, his case came up to social media. Everybody began talking about it. And Inyefong Effiong, the human rights lawyer, and many members of the Obedient family began to stand up for this boy. And they went to the Kirikiri prison where he was, spoke to him, realized that the boy was innocent, and they had to bring up the case again to court. And they quickly expedited the process. The boy was arraigned in court, and he was finally freed today. Look at how the papers reported it. Breaking: Lagos court discharges Alabi Cordri, young Nigerian who stood before Peter Obi's convoy, in viral photo. Sahara reporters. The Apapa Magistrate Court, Court 9, sitting at Orege Ajegunle Sikiru Adagun Courthouse, has discharged and acquitted Alabi Cordri, the young Nigerian who became a national symbol of courage during the 2023 general elections for standing boldly in front of the convoy of the then Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi. He was discharged and acquitted of conspiracy to commit felony and armed robbery. The court held that he had no case to answer. Cordri was brought to court on Thursday, April 17, 2025, after spending months in Kirikiri prison, Lagos. The Nigerian Correctional Service produced Cordri at the Apapa Magistrate Court located at Orege Ajegunle Sikiru Adun Courthouse. Cordri's case was initially slated for a hearing on April 28, 2025. However, human rights lawyer and activist Inibehe Effiong had revealed that both he and the Director of Public Prosecutions requested that the date be moved forward, and the court granted the application. And eventually, Cordri Alabi, to the glory of God, was freed. That's a picture of, activist Dele Farotimi and Inibehe Effiong in court there before the proceeding began. Do you know that this is what happens to so many innocent people in this country? They will just frame them up for nothing. The judge said he had no case to answer. As corrupt as we say the Nigerian judiciary is, for a judge in Nigeria to say that a person has no case to answer, that is to tell you that nothing happened. Because if they have something little to hold on to, they will prolong it and adjourn. But for them to say no case, it means nothing at all happened. This boy has already spent months in jail. Do you know he may have been molested in that Kirikiri? A lot of evil things may have happened to him. That's how you become a victim of Nigeria. And that is why we are crying about this society, that it needs to be fixed. We can't continue to live in a space like this, where a man can just be carried and dumped in Kirikiri. I feel like shedding tears for this boy. If not that this boy had a voice, this is how this boy would have rotted in jail. It is so bad. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet by Jerry Simon says, "This is a testament to the power of collective action and what is possible when we refuse to stay silent. As Cordri begins to heal, let's stand by him and ensure his story brings lasting change. No young person should ever suffer for daring to hope." That is it. Cordri's story is a big inspiration to young people in Nigeria. And Zoe Oluwatoyin here says they just want to destroy the life of that young boy. Thank God for people who stood up for the guy. That is it. Very wicked people where we get for this country. And Aburo Otedola here says, if I talk now, I will be called an Omoale. But best advice for the boy and his parents is that they should leave that toxic area and relocate if possible. They should crowdfund them. This is a very, very important point that has been raised in this last tweet. And I know that that is going to happen. That area is so toxic. Because these guys that were able to frame this boy for armed robbery, now that they have seen that he has been freed, they will not relent. They may move in to kill him. Because they just freed him. They didn't say who are the people that lied against him. So those people are still around. It is better for them to just look for a way to leave that area for safety's sake. And the boy is now pressing charges, 100 million naira for being illegally detained. Look at it. Released teen who stood before Peter Obi's convoy, 600 million naira compensation, demands removal of police DPO over illegal detention. Sahara reporters. You know, it sounds funny that the boy is demanding 100 million naira in compensation, but it is because of the society that we are in. If not, this boy is supposed to get compensated easily. The case was thrown out in court on the first hearing. It means the boy is completely innocent. And I know in Yebehe Efyong, he's going to push ahead with this case. And hopefully, by the grace of God, Cordri Alabi is going to get some money. He's going to get compensated. Even if it's not 100 million, he should get between 5 to 10 million. Or even more, as the case may be. Anyway, make I leave am here. Thank you for watching up to this point. If you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Do so now. Make we for no fight. Bye.